What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to talk about bronzers. If you know me anything about my channel at all, you know that I love bronzer. You know that I love bronzer. It is a part of me, something that I really enjoy to do. And I was gonna stop and not talk about bronzers until a little bit later in next month, but you know, I realized I had no video for Friday. So your girl's gonna talk about bronzers now, okay? Okay, so right now, these are my top 10 bronzers. I am not gonna play myself by trying to put these in order because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But this is, oh, this is not, ooh. Hold. So what had happened was I forgot that I keep my cream bronzers in a different drawer. So we have top 12 now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the creams at the top because those are the fewest that I have. Then we're gonna go to products that may have a cream and a powder in it, and then we're gonna end with all of the powder products. I enjoy all of these products. If I don't have a dedicated bronzer hunt to it, I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10 that it's actually coming up later in this season. I already intend to do a bronzer hunt video for a bunch of bronzers. I've already started one today, so just wait on it, just wait on it. Okay, let's start it off. And the first bronzer that I want to talk about is a cream bronzer from Danessa Myricks. This is the Danessa Myricks cream bronzer or powder bronzer in Deep. I really enjoy this bronzer. The beginning of this year, late last year, somewhere around there, this was actually my project pan to hit pan. As you can see, I hit pan. I really enjoy the shade, the depth, the formulation. I really enjoy this bronzer immensely. Highly recommend it. And since I began talking about that, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about one of my recent purchases from Danessa Myricks, and this is from her Contour Balm collection. This is in Deep 1. This is supposed to be a contour, but it is warm in nature, so I wear it as a bronzer. I think that this is an even better formula than this cream bronzer, and I say that because this is a thicker texture, a thicker formula, whereas this is more of a balmy skin tone, just effervescence situation. I really enjoy this cream immensely. I would highly recommend it. The sun is setting, it's playing me. I gotta put my ring light on. Sorry, I really thought I already had a video filmed, which is why I did not film this earlier today with all of the other videos that I filmed today after I got off of work. Let's keep going. Then I have my cream bronzer from Fenty, and this is just immaculate in itself. It's another really beautifully cream product, very thin in texture. I would say this is kind of a nice in between the two Danessa Myricks products that I've talked about. It's definitely not as thick as the powder bronzer, but it's not necessarily as thin as this contour. You definitely get a little bit more color. Not saying there's not enough color in the Danessa Myricks bronzer contour balm, but you get more. It's just literally an in-between texture wise between those two. So if you don't know if you want to spend the money on that, especially if you're not a Beautylish person and you just want to go through Sephora, this would be a cream product that I would recommend. Another cream product that I would recommend from Sephora that works on my complexion, and you also do actually get a powder which is just there to get through the dough. I mean, she's just skating by on the contours coattails at this point, is the Patrick Ta cream contour and powder bronzer duo in She's Chiseled. I really only reach for this for the cream contour, which once again, it's warm enough for me to really like and appreciate it as a bronzer. This is what I really enjoy. This down here, take it or leave it. I really could care less about that powder, but that cream, she's the breadwinner in this duo. Okay, she is the breadwinner. That would be the reason I'd pick it up. If Patrick Ta releases just the creams separately, very similarly to how he released just the powders separately for his blushes, I would honestly personally say just get the cream. You really don't need that powder. You have the powder in some other bronzer. So yeah, alrighty, so the rest are all powders. Yeah, it is what it is. And I'm just going to try and simulate some organization, and we're gonna go with some of the matte toned bronzers. So I have two matte toned, not matte tone, matte finish bronzers that are powder, and all of the creams that I discussed, they all dry down to a powder but naturalish finish. None of them are like super matte. Okay, so Fenty Beauty, she came out with the Sun Stalk'Rs collection, and I have mine in Mocha Mami. There is one darker, two darker than this, I don't really remember. I know she added a one recently to this range. Either way, this is my bronzer from her. As you can see, I did hit pan, and after I did that, I stopped because I was like, I don't want to buy her again. I really don't want to buy her again, but at the same time, I feel now that I can pan her and be okay with not having this in my collection. Don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy this bronzer immensely, but I do have like 50 bronzers in my collection. So do I really need this? No. But is this on my top 10? Yes, it is. So, you know, who knows what's going on in my head. Then another powder bronzer that comes off with a matte finish that is in my top 10 or top 12, sis 12, is my Juvia's Place bronzer duo in dark. This is a new baby to me, and I enjoy both of these bronzers. This, of course, is the one that I reach for off bank. Okay, this is the one that I really enjoy, but I can get use out of this one, either to lighten this up depending on the season, but also just to use it separately. I do enjoy both of the powders. It is very pigmented, very blendable. Highly recommend. And you can get it from Ulta, I believe this is an Ulta. I'll try my best to link down everything that I'm discussing today. So yeah, all right, then let's segue into the more natural toned bronzers.
Not natural toned.
Now let's segue into the more natural finished bronzers. Pretty much that is kind of my favorite finish. If I'm gonna reach for a powder bronzer, I want a natural finish. I want it to just kind of blend in, because as of right now, I've just been reaching for a lot of natural toned finish cheek products, and also just a lot of cream products. So if it's more of a natural toned, it just blends in a lot better. Ooh, this lighting is just getting worse and worse by the minute. Okay, so I have my Wayne Goss bronzer duo in deep copper. This is actually what I have on my face today. So I did already record my bronzer hump for this. It will be coming up probably late May, early June, somewhere around there, I think. I don't really remember. But this is a really nice bronzer duo. It's not going to be the most pigmented. It's not going to be the one that's going to really show up the most on my complexion. But what it does is just gives a nice natural-ish bronze. It's not going to be my super warm toned bronze where you can see like brown with a very strong hint of red, which, don't get me wrong, I love and I cherish. But some days I really just want to be chill. I just want to just blend in, okay? And this is when I would reach for this. I really do enjoy it. And with this duo, you also do get a powder contour, which is nice too. I really like it. It's not too cool toned. I found that when I was getting into makeup, I went for like super cool toned powders to use as a contour, and it wasn't it, okay? It just was not it. So that's that. Another bronzer that I actually really enjoy, and I think not many people talk about anymore, is from Nabla Cosmetics, and this is in their skin bronzing collection. This is in the shade Profile. This is the darkest shade. Once again, that name is just very questionable. I don't understand why that was the name, but we're just going to keep moving past it. I really like the finish. I really like the shade. Highly recommend it. It is a baked chalet formula, so you will need to use a particular brush to get the best out of this product. When I use this product, I reach for my Refer 05 brush. It's just a really nice natural hair brush to really pick up the product. You don't have to use that brush in particular, but I would recommend something that is natural hair, just because you're going to pick up the product a lot quicker and easier. If you're going to use something that has a synthetic brush or hair type, it will be a little bit harder for you to really pick that hair or this product up overall. So that's what it is. Then I also have my Prime Beauty bronzer in Bronzeville. You guys follow me at all, you know for a long time this was actually in my project pan. I was attempting to hit pan. You can still see the beginnings of ring, but I never got down to the ring at all, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was just holding this product over my head for a very long time, and I had to just switch to something else. I probably will actually try and reach for this again this year if I can find the time. But I really like this product. It's a really nice undertone, really nice shade, depth wise, all of that jazz, and really nice formulation, really nice and blendable, pigmented, all of that jazz. Okay, we're in the final 3 now. And we're gonna go drugstore to expensive, just to wrap it up with some bougie stuff. All right, so the drugstore product that I want to talk about today is actually the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Endless Summer Bronze. I actually like this product. I think it does a really nice job at bronzing my skin in a nice subtle-ish way. This is leaning more towards, in my opinion, the Wayne Goss, like natural-ish shade. So it's not going to be overly pigmented. It's not going to be overly red or undertoned, but you're still going to see an overall bronze at the end of the day, which once again, you can appreciate, you can like it. It's like a no fuss, no muss bronzer, which, I mean, depending on if you really care about bronzer or if you're new to the game when it comes to actually putting bronzer on, that makes sense. It's perfect. You know. So yeah. All right, then let's go on with the Kosas bronzer in Deep. This puppy stinks, okay? She still smells like a rat, okay? Just a rat crawled up somebody and died, okay? But the finish, the color, the overall aesthetic on your skin, flawless. And like I said, this is in the shade Deep. I love this bronzer. Honestly, if it didn't stink, I'd probably use it a lot more. That, and I would probably use it a lot more if I knew I wouldn't have to repurchase this, because this would be something I would have to repurchase. Granted, I would want to repurchase everything, but like this would be, it's already in my cart when I hit pan. You feel me? So yeah, really enjoy this product. Highly recommend it. But just it smells like a rat crawled up somebody's body and died. It stinks. And then the last bronzer I want to talk about today is actually from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in her Airbrush bronzer range. This is in the shade 4 Deep. This is a huge pan. This formula is immaculate. The undertone, perfection. The only thing that Charlotte could have done to make this 100% the cream of the crop, creme de la creme, would have been if this was actually a satin finish or even like a more glowy finish. This is definitely not a flat matte, which I do appreciate. This is more of a natural finish, but if it was like a little bit more satin or glowy, nobody would have stood in her way, okay? Nobody. I would have already had pan in her by this point. I still very much enjoy her. I still very much love her, but you know, she's not #1, okay? She's not. And as you can notice, I did not put my ColourPop Bits and Pieces bronzer in here. I did that for a reason. I was really trying to stick with bronzers that are available on the market that you guys can get. I do still have my backup. Sis will be in my collection for a little while until I'm ready to pan her again, because I absolutely love that bronzer. I already panned and finished one of them. I probably will pan and finish the other one by the end of my makeup journey, okay? It'll just be what it is. But that said, these are 12 bronzers that I absolutely adore. I think they are great, and they are the creme de la creme in my collection. So I hope this has been helpful for anybody who is interested. I know I do a lot of bronzer videos, and you never know, what is it that you actually would recommend? What is it that you would actually be able to afford? I will hope to try my best to do some editing game real good for y'all. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, y'all, like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I would love to see a comment down below. Talk to me about your favorite bronzer. Talk to me about a bronzer that you think it has no business being a bronzer in my collection. I have a couple of them, okay? I finally got rid of the Balm bronzer that I thought was a bronzer that wasn't even a face powder. It was more of an under eye powder. You know, you got to do what you got to do. And I would love if somebody comments down below, how many minions can you see in my background? Alrighty guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.